Crypto is a great technology that enables financial freedom and inclusion, and we should help Canadians get into that space in any way we can, safely, securely, and within a regulated framework. And so working with government regulators, banks, will allow us to do this. I encourage everyone to have good, deep discussions about the technology and really come meet us.
Hey folks, Flo here with Blockchain North. I'm here with Alex Mehrdad of Kraken, who was just appointed General Manager. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Tell us a little bit about yourself, first of all, for those who don't know you yet.
Yeah, so I'm the new General Manager for Canada at Kraken.
Yeah.
I've actually been at Kraken for 2 years. I've been working on Canada the whole time, focusing on kind of commercial strategy, revenue, and user growth before that. And now I just expanded my mandate to take on the whole of the Canada operation.
Revenue and user growth. What's left? It pretty much covers it all, right?
Yeah. Well, operations, regulatory strategy, relationship, all that kind of good stuff.
Which you now have under your responsibilities as well.
Correct, yes.
So where is Kraken? I mean, most people would know Kraken as the large American, crypto exchange, but in Canada, what is Kraken's sort of positions?
So in terms of where we position in the market, we've become one of the kind of big players in the Canadian market since, we started in the beginning of last year.
Okay.
And so we've actually doubled our user base and growth for the past kind of 8 months.
Nice.
We actually started marketing in March of 2023, which is when we signed our PRU, which is the regulatory document allowing us to kind of start marketing in Canada.
Yeah.
And we've seen kind of exponential growth.
So you've chosen to stay, basically, right?
So we've chosen, yeah.
More than some others that we won't quote right now, but have actually left the country.
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely committed to Canada. We see it as a great market to be in and to operate.
What is that? It's no market, no?
Well, I think there's 2 reasons. One has to do with kind of crypto innovation, and the other with crypto adoption. So I'll speak to both. In terms of crypto innovation, historically Canada has been a very innovative country in crypto. We have the first Bitcoin ATMs in Vancouver. The spot ETFs started in Canada. Right now it's big news everywhere else, but it started here. A company like Dapper Labs, a Canadian company, helped a lot with the adoption of NFTs. And they launched NBA Top Shot.
Crypto kitties.
Yeah, exactly. Crypto kitties as well. And so they there's a lot of innovation that comes out of Canada. Even on the regulatory front, the restricted dealer framework that we are currently kind of working through was an innovative sort of approach to finding regulatory clarity and a pathway to be regulated. Other countries sort of look at Canada as well and get inspiration of what we do. So there's a lot of innovation, historically. And there's a lot more to come, I think, that we're working towards as well in terms of maybe policy work we're doing and sort of like how to kind of grow. And then in terms of the crypto adoption, there's about 15-20% of Canadians that own crypto today. I think if you look at the stats, it's somewhere around 50% want to eventually own crypto in the next coming years. So there's definitely going to be growth in the market, and we want to be present to kind of help Canadians get access to crypto, which is aligned with our global mission, obviously, which is, for those who might not know, it's to accelerate the global adoption of crypto for people to gain financial independence. And so in Canada, the way that translates is to help these people who are kind of on the fence be able to easily, safely own crypto or understand crypto.
So there's several other players in the market, of course. So you're not alone.
Yeah, of course.
How to my question around the positioning, like how do you differentiate it yourself? What does Kraken represent, and who are typically your users?
Yeah. So in terms of what our USPs are, if I want to start, globally we have very good customer service and security. Those are the 2 kind of values we pride ourselves on. And so we really want users to feel safe and secure when they use Kraken and to be accompanied in their journey with crypto. Mm-hmm. We're also investing a lot in education to educate users both before they own crypto with a Learn Center, but also while they are on the platform with a customer service team that is one of the best in the industry. Yeah. And so that's kind of how we position ourselves compared to others. Obviously, then the product suite is there to kind of cater to both kind of newcomers, but also more professional types of users. So we have both retail, early kind of crypto users, more of the prosumers, or people who are more consumer but on the pro side, and then institutional players as well with a suite of products such as APIs or
So you have a unique vantage point, having been tracking users, of course, for a long time. And as you said, it spans, from the new users to the pro users. What are some trends that you're witnessing, let's say recently, maybe this year, for example, or the last couple of years, in terms of, who is... Yeah, it'd be interesting to know the profile of the people that are actually, starting their journey in crypto, in particular the new ones.
Yeah, so to the point I was making before, there's a lot of new users coming into crypto. And so we really try to kind of help them get into that space. And so what we see with these users is that they typically start by using the more sort of simple products we have that allow you to easily buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or those types of coins. And then we kind of accompany them to the journey as they progress and as they learn more and they want to maybe start staking or doing that kind of thing. And so we've actually seen a lot of retail interest. But we're also seeing a lot of institutional interest as well.
Yeah.
Even more so now that, and globally institutional money is flowing more into crypto.
Narrative.
Exactly. So we're seeing that also kind of come in the Canadian market.
Do you have any numbers to share in terms of growth, in terms of both for Kraken, but also your sense of the market? Both, I would say, the recent times, but also projections?
Yeah, I think, so I mentioned we doubled our user base.
Yeah.
In the period since we signed the PRU, we also went above the kind of the $1 billion threshold in terms of asset under custody.
Yeah.
So we're seeing good growth, and then going towards that 50% number of Canadians who want to own crypto. I think we'll get there within the next few years, and it's really important for us and other players to kind of make sure that we get them there. And the regulatory framework in Canada allows us to safely operate and kind of onboard you to waste.
As an American company, I don't believe you're American, but I do have to ask you a little bit about what's happening in the U.S. since Canadians are basically, you have these memes, right, where Canadians are looking through a curtain at what's happening in the U.S.
Yeah.
With a lot of, curiosity and interest because they know that if it happens there, usually it'll follow suit in Canada. So with the elections happening, and not asking for any political commentary, but more like what is your sense of, the narrative, the U.S. is, own sort of place in crypto today?
I think what is really positive is crypto is coming into the political discourse.
Yeah.
And so whether presidential candidates or Congress people or other are starting to talk about crypto, so that's always
the very fact that they're talking.
Yeah, because we want crypto to become more of a globally understood and adopted technology. So obviously, it getting into the political sphere is great.
Yeah.
Now, ideally, we want it to be a bipartisan issue. We don't want it to be in any camp, and we're slowly getting there. So that's always very positive for us.
Yeah. And when do you think that will translate in Canada? We do have an election here next year.
I mean, I know. I don't
think if it enters the narrative, most people would say that if Trump is elected, it will be a boost for crypto. I'm of the mind that it's a bit neutral because, like you said, I think it's increasingly becoming apolitical. But regardless, I mean, if the U.S. adopts more, starts talking more about crypto, trying to be more competitive as well, because that's Trump's narrative, try to the U.S. dominate in crypto. How do you see that then translating in Canada?
Yeah.
Do you think in Canada during the next election cycle in a year will also have the same sort of effect of, it being talked about more?
Yeah, I mean, one can only hope, right? I can't for sure say, but my hope is that it becomes more of a topic within all areas of politics and regulation, and that we continue the discourse and the education with our policymakers, with our regulators. There's still a lot of work to be done in Canada for crypto to truly get to the point of mass adoption. And so we continue the discourse. We actually have a lot of policy work we're doing as well.
Good. Through Web3 Council, I guess?
We just joined the Web3 Council, correct?
Okay. I was half guessing, but so like you were saying, there are a lot of new entrants in the market. I want to focus a little bit on the retail and perhaps also like the youth, the young developers in the space. Where do you see the opportunities in crypto for them in terms of career and perhaps also in terms of entrepreneurship, for example?
The first thing I will say is getting education is the most important part of the crypto. Crypto moves at a very fast pace, and so keeping up to date with the latest development and educating yourself on what's going on in the market, what's going on with the technology, what are the new things that are coming up, who are the new players, is extremely important. And so I would encourage everyone to keep reading, learning, meeting new people. We're at Blockchain Futures here. There's a lot of people, and it's great to meet all these different people coming from different walks of life and having different ideas and building different businesses. So learning, networking, just creating a sense of sort of a community within the industry is really important.
Yeah.
And so for the newcomers, I would encourage them to learn, go to events, meet people, and sort of become part of that community, and then the rest sort of follows.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. And can you share a little bit about yourself personally, by the way? Because I think you're kind of like rising in profile, and there may be a lot of people who are just curious. Who is Alex? What kind of a guy? You maybe talk a bit about your I guess a little bit about your upbringing or a bit about your hobbies.
Yeah. So one of my hobbies since like 2016 has been crypto.
Okay.
And so that's why I'm
that's
here.
More than a hobby by now.
Yeah, it's more of a hobby by now. But it's kind of interesting because I come from career-wise from a more traditional sort of path where I started in traditional finance and traditional companies and management consulting of big banks and financial institutions. And so while I was kind of going through that experience, I got some sense of how the traditional financial system would work. One of the notable projects I was working on is wires and international wires, and seeing how many people kind of touch a wire before it gets to its destination.
Yeah,
and thinking there's probably a better way to do that. And at the same time, I had already started dabbling into crypto and understanding how easy it is to do a transfer from point A to point B. And surely the technology, can help with that. So that's kind of like where I come from.
Yeah.
And now I'm fully invested in crypto. And I'm not looking back.
That's really awesome. And maybe a little bit of a projection. Where do you see crypto, let's say, in 5 years? I mean, there's obviously at a conference like Futures, people that are, very, very bullish and very, very optimistic and, say it's basically going to be everywhere and touch everything and be much, much bigger than it is today. What are you the surest of, basically, over the next 5 years that is going to unravel?
I think there will be more adoption, both from a retail perspective and...
That's a safe bet?
Yeah. There'll be more innovation. So, every cycle comes with its share of innovation. What we've seen currently is, the same topics that came maybe in the last cycle are coming back with a bit more sort of nuance to them, or there's a bit more innovation in the same areas. So it's not newer topics every time. It's kind of like building on what worked and then making it better.
Yeah.
And so I think, we're maybe it feels to some people we're moving slower in terms of, the technology, but actually that's a good thing because we're building on a lot of things. So I think adoption in terms of retail, in terms of institutional, but also in everyday life. I'm hoping that payments can happen, with crypto. There's a lot of work to be done there in terms of, taxation for microtransactions, for example, and we're working here to try to influence the discussion as an industry. If you want to buy a coffee or something with crypto, you don't want to think about, do I owe tax on this Bitcoin I'm selling, right? So there's a lot of work there. But once we get there, I think we will see a boom.
And final question, what is keeping you motivated? What is your greatest conviction with this space that keeps you, I mean, you have a lot of responsibilities now.
Yeah.
It's not an easy job that you have, right? So what keeps you sort of going?
What keeps me going, honestly, is to be able to grow crypto adoption in Canada and work with clients, also regulators, policymakers, banking partners. Access to banking is something that's really important for us to unlock, right? For people to be able to easily sort of move money between their Canadian dollars and crypto cheaply, securely, and quickly is really something we want to unlock here. Policy, as I mentioned, taxation is one thing. Stablecoin maybe is another topic that keeps coming up with regulators. So, growing the market, but also educating different actors and getting to that point of adoption. I don't think it'll happen naturally. We'll have to kind of work hard to get to that point, and that's what keeps me motivated is to make sure we create the safe space for everyone to kind of come into the industry.
So a big part of your job is advocacy, basically. And I mean, you're talking
some part of it.
Educating, talking about basically educating and maybe also advocating to regulators and governments, I mean, the banks. And I mean, it seems like, it's really a job where you're, in a sense, representing the industry. Maybe I'll just put you on the spot. And if you wanted to look into the camera and basically talk to, let's say, Canadians of all stripes, government, industry, the banks, the users, what would be your sort of 20 seconds pitch about crypto?
I would say crypto is a great technology that enables, again, financial freedom and inclusion, and we should help Canadians get into that space in any way we can, safely, securely, and within a regulated framework. And so working with government regulators, banks, will allow us to do this. And I encourage everyone to have good, deep discussions about the technology and really, come meet us.
Perfect. Sorry, thank you
so
for
much.
playing along.
Yeah, no worries.